You imagine your wedding day a certain way. White dress, smiles, tears of joy. A man waiting at the end of the aisle who chose you forever. But what happens when that man never shows up? What happens when, instead of walking toward you, he's somewhere else celebrating his freedom, like you were nothing more than a temporary chapter he just closed? That was supposed to be my wedding day. Instead, I stood in front of 200 guests, being told my groom was not coming. But what he didn't know was that while he was busy humiliating me, I still had the spare keys to something he valued more than me, his dream car, and by the end of that night, I wasn't the one left broken. He was. I met Daniel 3 years before that day. He wasn't rich when I met him. Not even close. He had ambition, though. The kind of man who spoke like he was always one deal away from changing his life. And I believed him. I supported him through everything. Late-night business plans. Failed investments. Broken promises that always ended with, just trust me. One day, we'll be unstoppable. So I trusted him. I helped him when his rent was overdue. I paid for half of our life without even questioning it. When he told me he was buying a luxury car as a symbol of success, I didn't stop him. In fact, I helped, I co-signed, I contributed my savings. Money I had been saving for our future home. A home he promised we would move into right after the wedding, but I didn't know something important. Yet Daniel didn't see our future. He saw his upgrade, and I was just part of the financing. The venue was perfect, white roses everywhere, soft golden lighting, 200 guests seated in anticipation. My dress fit like a dream, but something felt wrong from the start. Daniel was late. At first, people laughed it off. Groom's nerves, they said, but 10 minutes turned into 30. Then 45, and then the whispers started. I kept smiling. Because what else do you do when your entire life is supposed to begin in front of an audience? Then the wedding coordinator walked toward me. Her face said everything before her mouth even opened. Can I speak to you privately? I remember my heels clicking on the marble floor as I followed, her away from the guests, away from the music, away from the version of my life that was collapsing in real time. She handed me her phone, a message from Daniel. I can't do this. I need freedom. Don't wait for me. That was it. No explanation, no call, no apology, just disappearance. But it got worse. Because while I stood there trying to breathe, a guest came running into the venue. He's at Lunara Lounge. He's partying! Laughter, music, celebration. My groom was not missing. He was celebrating without me on what was supposed to be our wedding day. And that's when I learned the second truth that shattered everything. Our life savings was already gone. I checked my account, zeroed out, transferred, over weeks, into one thing, his car, his custom luxury sedan. The one he called his dream machine, the one I helped him buy, the one registered under both our names, because I trusted him. And in that moment, something inside me didn't just break, it reorganized. I didn't cry, not right away, because grief has stages, and I was skipping straight into something colder, clarity. Sat alone in the bridal room while 200 guests slowly realized the wedding was over. The bill still existed. The venue still needed payment. The shame still belonged to me. But Daniel? He was drinking somewhere across town, laughing, posting stories, to new beginnings. That's what his caption said. New beginnings, without me. That night, I went through everything. Bank records, messages, the car documents, and there it was, a detail he forgot, a spare key, still in my possession, because he once said, "You're basically my wife already." You should always have access. He was right. I did have access to everything he cared about most, and that was his mistake. He thought betrayal meant escape. I was about to teach him it also meant consequence. The reception was still happening, not mine anymore, his, Daniel's, freedom. Party, music, lights, friends, cheering him like he had just escaped prison instead of abandoning a bride. He stood there laughing, holding a drink, acting like he had won something. But while he celebrated, I was in the parking lot, looking at his dream. Car, shiny black paint, custom rims, the symbol of everything he thought made him important. I slid the spare key into my hand. Hands were steady, too steady, like I had already accepted what I was about to do. The doors unlocked. Beep that. Sound felt louder than the entire venue music. Combined, I got in, started the engine, and for a moment, I just sat there, thinking about every rent, payment I helped with, every sacrifice, every, one day I'll make it up to you. Then I reversed slowly, deliberately, out of the parking space, past the entrance, right in front of the venue staff, right in front of the valet, right in front of the world that had just witnessed my humiliation, and I drove straight into the night. It didn't take long. My phone started ringing, Daniel, again and again. Then messages. What the hell are you doing? Bring the car back. You're insane. But the moment I reached the highway, I finally answered, calm, controlled. I thought you wanted freedom. Silence, then anger. You're stealing my car. I laughed, not because it was funny, because it finally made sense. No. Daniel, you already stole from me first. I hung up and kept driving. Behind me, his world was unraveling in real time. Guests whispering, venue staff demanding payment, friends realizing the successful groom had just abandoned everything. And the car? The one thing he valued more than me? Gone. The next morning, I returned the car, not to him, but to the leasing company. Everything was in my name, too. Legally. Clean, financially accurate, morally devastating. Daniel tried to reach me for weeks, calls, emails, voicemails that started angry and ended desperate. But I was already gone, not physically, emotionally, completely, because I finally understood something important. You don't get closure from people who abandon you. You take back what they used you for, and you leave them with the silence they gave you. The last message I ever received from him was simple. You destroyed me. I stared at it for a long time, then replied, no. You did that the moment you didn't show up, and I never heard from him again. People think revenge is loud, explosive, chaotic. But sometimes, revenge is just correction, a balance sheet finally settling itself, and that night at the reception, I wasn't the one who lost everything. I was the one who finally got it back.